All right, a lot of people have been asking me about how the real estate market's been doing here in Southwest Missouri. And my answer to that is, remember back in May when you couldn't find any toilet paper? Yeah, it's a lot like that. All right, welcome back to the Greater Nixa Homes YouTube channel. My name's Jason with Greater Nixa Homes. And if you haven't already, be sure to click that subscribe button. Give us a like on this video before we get started. I really appreciate it. It helps, my self-esteem anyway, so thanks. So today we're gonna be talking about some tips and strategies on buying a home in a seller's market. I mean, we are in a very, very hot seller's market right now, if you didn't know that already. Nationwide, and certainly here in our little neck of the woods of Southwest Missouri, homes are flying off the market every day. I'm watching the MLS, more homes are going pending than we can list. And that's gonna create a high demand with low supply. So homes are selling for top dollar. Buyers are really struggling to find a place in the marketplace. And that's really what we're dealing with right now. So right now, I just want to kind of go through some very basic tips and strategies to help you win in a hot seller's market. All right, so the first tip is obviously get pre-qualified. Sounds like a basic tip, but you'd be surprised at how many people just want to jump right in and get started searching before they've ever even talked to a lender. So my first piece of advice, and this is very important, is just at least have a conversation with the lender. Talk to them about exactly what your plan is for purchase. You're gonna wanna understand your buying power. That's gonna be very important. But also you're gonna need to know, like if you have a house to sell, you're gonna need to know if you're gonna have to sell that home first in order to qualify for your next purchase. A lot of people may assume or think that they can just sell their house, no problem, and not have to write the offer contingent on the sale. But that's not really up to you or I, it's up to your lender. If you're needing to borrow money, it's gonna be the lender's opinion. Those underwriters that are writing your loan are gonna need to tell you if you're gonna have to get rid of some assets first before purchasing. So that's step one. Get pre-qualified. All right, so another great tip that goes along with getting pre-qualified is just getting a lender folder prepared. And what I mean by that is by simply creating either a physical folder, if you're kind of old school, or if you're new school and you're doing it all on a PDF file on your computer, create a little folder in there and start putting all of your tax returns, okay? Your bank statements, the last couple of months of worth of bank statements, any paycheck stubs, the contact info for your landlord, the contact info for your employer. Your lender's gonna need to know all of those things. If you're drawing money from any kind of a savings account, like a 401k plan, a pension, disabilities, any of that, you're gonna need documentation of all of these things. Get copies of those and just put them all in a folder, nice and neat, and be ready to send to your lender whenever they ask for it, and you're gonna be doing great. All right, so the next tip that I got for you guys is basically just coming to an understanding for yourself and for your realtor, obviously, is are we going to go after the house or are we going after a deal? What's more important for you? Knowing these things up front is going to save everybody a lot of time when you're buying a home in a hot seller's market. If you're dead set on getting a deal, it's not impossible. It's gonna take a little more time is all. The main thing that my job with working with buyers is to help manage your expectations. And so I try to take at least 30 minutes before we ever get in the car and start looking at homes to kind of help answer those questions, going over the market stats, making sure that I answer any concerns that you might have. But if you've been watching online for any number of time and then all of a sudden the homes that you've been favoriting are suddenly not appearing in your search anymore, it's probably because they've gone pending. So you just gotta be ready to pull the trigger when that perfect property comes online. All right, so the last tip I have for you is basically don't get caught up with the case of paralysis by analysis. I see this a lot in a hot seller's market. I work with a lot of buyers that tend to maybe overanalyze properties a lot. They wanna know every little single detail about the home, from the subdivision indentures, the covenants and restrictions. There's a lot of things that buyers want to know before they ever even put pen to paper. And I try to explain to them, that you have contingencies in the contract that help protect you to be able to get out of the deal if you find some things out that are a deal breaker for you while you're under contract. But the most important thing, honestly, is get it under contract. Make it yours to negotiate with the buyer, or make it yours to negotiate with the seller before you start figuring out all these things. You've got 10 days in your inspection period to figure out if the HVAC and the hot water heater are working. You know, lots of other minor details of the home, but if it's got all the features, it got the bedrooms, the square footage, it's got all of the upgrades that you want, you like the lot, the location, the neighborhood, if it checks off all those boxes, write an offer and get it under contract, and then figure out the other details later. All right, I hope that was helpful for you guys. I'm trying to create some helpful tips and strategies for both buyers and sellers. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. I'm Jason with Greater Nixa Homes, and I will see you in the next video.